Hey everybody, and welcome to Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually. Now today we're heading back to Eternia with this Masters of the Universe Origins collection action figure of the Sorceress, heroic guardian of Castle Grayskull. This is not one I had as a kid because I didn't have a lot of girl action figures back then. But I'm glad I picked this one up recently. So let's get her out of the package and check it out. Today we have the Masters of the Universe Origins Collection action figure of the Sorceress, heroic guardian of Castle Grayskull. See her in the packaging here in front of that comic book on the inside. And on the back it has a little visual checklist of several of the characters. The heroic warriors, He-Man, Sorceress, Buzz-Off, and Stratos. And the evil warriors, Skeletor and Jitsu. Out of all of these, the only one I haven't opened yet is the Sorceress. And you can spread her wings and twist her into powerful battle positions. One of the best things about this is that cool art on the packaging. With magical abilities from the pool of power, the wise sorceress watches over eternity for when it needs He-Man for protection. Has a lot of evil villains there attacking Castle Grayskull, so I guess she's going to summon He-Man to save the day. Like I said before, I didn't have a lot of girl action figures, but Masters of the Universe line was pretty good action figures when I was a kid. And I knew several girls around the neighborhood who had different girl action figures, like She-Ra. But I didn't play with the She-Ra, so that doesn't hold too much nostalgia for me. But I was pretty familiar with the Sorceress from that cartoon, The Masters of the Universe. And I was always happy when the bus wasn't running late and I was able to get home in the afternoon to catch that and other shows like G.I. Joe and Transformers. It was a good time to be alive when all of those toys were coming out, because they all had great stories behind them and was highly imaginative, especially the Masters of the Universe line. They had more quirky style villains. Well, no, I shouldn't say more, but they had just as many quirky style villains as Spider-Man and Batman. Let's take that plastic off of there. And you can see we got the comic book on the inside there. The Challenge of Jitsu. We'll check that out in just a minute. This still has some of those plastic ties keeping her to the package. There's her magic staff. This also has a little piece of tape on it. A tough piece of tape. Okay, I just didn't cut it all the way. There we go. There's her magic staff of power. Looks like a falcon or some kind of eagle at the top of the staff there. Let's see if we've freed her from the packaging. Her legs are free. get her arm out of there with that plastic tie around it. Get her other arm out. And try to slide her wings. Okay, I'm going to have to cut that piece of plastic right there. I don't know how in the world they got her in here. Luckily, those wings are made out of some softer plastic. And there she is. Wings outspread. I always liked the costume that the Sorceress wore. Not because of how skimpy it was, but because I really liked that bird headgear that she was wearing. And everybody has those fur-lined boots, but she looks like hers are feather-lined to match the wings that she has. And I guess these are supposed to be feathers across her outfit there. She does have a lot better articulation than the old Masters of the Universe figures. Where here you can rotate her arms and elbows and shoulders, her hips, knees, and feet. Looks like she's got a little bit of a heel going here too. Now let's fit that staff of power in her hand. And complete the heroic guardian of Castle Grayskull, the Sorceress, from the Masters of the Universe Origins collection. In addition to the action figure, the Masters of the Universe usually comes with a little comic book. And the newer ones come with this little insert that tells you which parts to remove and swap parts. And the little gray indicates which parts you can swap. Now, I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to keep my action figure together. So we'll set that aside and check out the Challenge of Jitsu. I've read this a couple of times before. And it shows the Sorceress gathering some heroes and telling them some great physical force was causing destruction. So they fly out and find Jitsu chopping things. Then they get into a fight. Jitsu challenges them and starts chopping. Buzz off zaps him, but Jitsu chops him too, and then He-Man comes in there, and they have a knockdown, drag-out fight. And Jitsu goes to chop him, but He-Man stops him. And then they beat him up. The end. Now, I really like the old Masters of the Universe comic books that came with the action figures because they were more based on which action figure the comic came with. Like the He-Man one was based on He-Man, and Skeletor one was based on Skeletor, and the Beastman one had a Beastman comic book in it. No, it seems like they put too much effort in it, but it's still good to get another comic book with these new figures. Thanks for joining us today on Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually. Now, I really like the detail in this action figure, and should go well with my the rest of my collection of Masters of the Universe Origins. So, If you want to see some more unboxing of some soon-to-be nostalgic toys, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below and tell me who your favorite Masters of the Universe action figure is. See y'all next time.